The U.S. State Department says a crowd has attacked its embassy in Damascus. CNN's Awa Damon joins me now from the Syrian capital with the latest. Awa, what can you tell us about this attack on the U.S. embassy compound?
Well, I just spoke with a U.S. Embassy official who's in Damascus who said that basically the building sustained some damage. No personnel were injured. The windows have been cracked. Graffiti was sprayed. The U.S. Embassy side has been damaged as well. The official was also saying that the Syrian government was slow in responding with additional security measures. The embassy calling on the Syrian government to abide by the protections required under the Vienna Convention. The official also said that this was an unfortunate distraction because the Syrian government continues to beat, imprison, torture, and kill people who want to peacefully protest. The official said that he could not characterize the mob, but noted that it is still ironic that the government allows this type of a protest to go on, but won't allow protests where people have no weapons and are only carrying olive branches. The tensions between the U.S., especially the ambassador Robert Ford, and the Syrian government have been at an all-time high following the ambassador's trip that the government says was unauthorized to Hama a few days ago, Aisha.
Just to be clear, was this contact able to clarify the status of the embassy right now? Is the situation under control? Is the embassy still open?
Yeah, the situation right now is under control. It appears that the mob has largely left. Syrian security forces did eventually arrive on the scene and, try to restore some sort of normalcy and stability. The mob was throwing rocks, using other destructive measures. The attack lasted for a few hours. We are also hearing reports, we have not yet been able to confirm, that the French embassy sustained a similar attack as well, Aisha.
Putting that to the side for a moment, let's talk about these national dialogue talks, the conference that has been underway now. What can you tell us about that? I mean, how credible is this whole enterprise?
Well, from the government's perspective, this most certainly is incredibly credible, and the government says that this dialogue, this national dialogue conference, is the first step towards creating a framework to implement a multitude of reforms, which would eventually, according to the government, lead the country on a true path of democracy. Government officials are saying that once these reforms, when they eventually do emerge and are implemented, Syria will never be the same. The opposition, however, remains highly skeptical. There is no representation of the street activists, those who have been going out in the thousands demonstrating against, risking their lives to do so. And the majority of leading opposition figures have also boycotted, saying that the government first has to stop the violence before people can even begin talking about dialogue. And we heard that echoed by some opposition members who did to attend. One of them, Al-Sayyid Fassini, said that he came to this conference with a single purpose. He wanted to ask the government if, in fact, they truly had a program of reforms or if they were simply buying time. He said that the government pledged that in this certainly did intend to implement these reforms, but there is still a lot of doubt and skepticism as the opposition here has heard similar promises from the government in the past. But the government, for its part, is really touting this as being a historic moment where, for the first time in a single forum, of voices are being heard. Issues that in the past would have not even been spoken about are now being openly debated. The government says that the opposition needs to give them a chance to prove themselves, but the opposition says that it is largely skeptical, very wary of this government, and that the demonstrations will continue. They're waiting to see if, in fact, the government lives up to that promise of ending the violence.
Many people are indeed watching very closely. Awa Damon joining us there from Damascus, Syria. Awa, thank you.